farms. How do you find the farming practices deep down in our farms? Are they giving us good coffee, or they're doing bad practicing methods for farming?
No, they are doing amazing job.
Amazing job.
Yeah. Before I went to UAE, I visited some farms. So in the first place, what I saw, I wasn't happy. But when I went back the second time, I was really happy. The way they take care of their crops, the processing ways, the way they put in on the African beds, you know.
Raised beds.
Yeah. Back then, they just used to sweep on the ground to make sure the ground is clean. Just remove the leaves, little sticks, cow's shit, you know. Then they pour the coffee. This time around, I was so happy. They made their beds, so they put coffee on top. Under some hours, then they take it off. They know what they are doing, you know. But back then, yeah, one day I got a goat lying in coffee beans. I was like, what? You never get to tour. It's not good. But now there is a lot of changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were you looking for in the farms as you went deep down to the farms?
I have a friend now, he's a producer. It's called Semakula Derek. Yeah, he's working with Chanzo Farm, washing station. So I went to CP Falls.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are doing their production that side.
So you had literally gone to see what's happening deep down there?
Yes, what's happening.
Okay.
So we did the harvest together. And I was so happy with the team which I worked with. They knew what they were doing. So they could look only for the ripe cherry. Ripe, they could select the ripe one. In case they pick the green one, they have somewhere where they used to go and sort it from.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was part of it, interacting with the children. And what surprised me, I got a six-year-old kid. He's not in school. He's selecting beans, but he does know what he's doing. Was picking only the red one. If he sees a leaf, he could pick it out and throw. He knows that it's bad. So that information really made me happy.
Wow.
Which means whatever they are doing, it's on point. Yeah.
Maybe before we go for a break, I want to tap your idea on who is the most important person in the coffee chain. Is it the farmer? Actually, among these two people, is it the farmer or the barista?
That's a tricky one. But in my own words, I would say all of us.
No,
boss, all of us. I'll tell you, all of us. I speak for the coffee, not the farmer. Okay? But if a farmer does a shit job, I cannot represent it.
But if a farmer does bad coffee and he brings it on my station, I can do whatever whatever it takes at least to have good coffee out of it. No, it can't. But if a farmer produces good coffee and I make it bad, it will be bad coffee.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go for
no.
We shall continue this conversation later.
Boss. We are all accountable. So for me, I'll stick on my 2 points.
We're all important.
Important, yes.
Well, guys, who is the most important person in the coffee chain? Go dive down on our social media platforms, Twitter at HTV1UG, and tell us who is most important in the coffee chain. The coffee break, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Coffee industry is very wide, it's very big, it's very full of opportunities. Don't sit there and say, I have nothing to do. You can join the industry. You can get whatever you want. If you give it time, invest in it.
You have to know each equipment. You have to know the brew ratio. Actually, brew ratio is I think the most important. Brew ratio now most people may not understand. It is the ratio of the coffee powder to water, and the yield. Water in this article will bring us into the yield. If I put 10 grams of coffee into my portafilter, how much of it am I exactly? So if you don't master the brew ratio, oh, everything is going to turn out a mess. You understand? Even if you know that knowledge and you don't master the brew ratio. You have to know each equipment. You have to know the brew ratio. Actually, brew ratio is I think the most important. Brew ratio now most people may not understand. It is the ratio of the coffee powder to water, and the yield. Water in this article will bring us into the yield. If I put 10 grams of coffee into my portafilter, how much of it am I exactly? So if you don't master the brew ratio, oh, everything is going to turn out a mess. You understand? Even if you know that knowledge and you don't master the brew ratio.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. You're still watching House of Talent Television, and this is the coffee break with me, Amon Mukisa. And my guest today is Saddam Muchibi, a former senior barrister with Enduro Coffee, and now a head barrister with
Algawa Arabia.
Algawa Arabia. That one was confusing.
Algawa.
Alga.
You should feel it here.
I should feel it here. And go.
Yes.
Is that right?
Gawa means coffee, actually. Means coffee.
It means coffee in Arabic.
In Arabic, yeah. In Arabic side.
Gawa.
Gahawa.
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 You know how to speak Arabic, huh?
Nah. No. It's not any easy language, bro. Yeah. But
So-
of course I know little words, yeah.
So before we went to break, we were talking about like who is the most important person in the coffee chain, and behind the camera, of the camera, we were having a conversation of the fact that we talking about the chain, and now we are bringing out only 2 people, which means no longer chain. Okay, so now Sadam, who is the most important person in the coffee chain with all the people involved in the chain? So that's now a complete chain.
Aye, boss. Everyone is important. I'll not say these people they do they put less effort. No, everyone in the chain puts 100%. Yeah, so still I'll stick on my answer. Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone is important.
Everyone is
I
important.
cannot have coffee without a farmer. I cannot have a coffee without a roaster. I cannot have a coffee without a producer. So they are all important, and
Okay.
we appreciate their work.
They are all important. So Sadam, let's go into our tutorial for today's show. What are we gonna do today? I see various equipments here.
Yeah. So we are going to have a V60. Yeah, a V60. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So a V60, what's it made of? Like, how was it, or how does it work?
A V60, it's a filter coffee. Yeah, it's a filter coffee. You do it manually. It's not like an espresso whereby it's a machine. You know, you craft it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are going to craft 1 cup for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 cups for us, you know.
2 cups.
Hey.
All right. Then,
Okay.
no problem.
So
2 cups then.
the floor is yours. Give us the tutorial.
See, I'll do 1.
Mhm.
Then you also do 1.
I also do 1.
Yeah.
Okay. We have all the time.
You have the
Let's go.
time? Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the way we do it. See how I'm folding the folder. Sorry, the paper filter. It should be like this. You lock it down at the tip. Oh,
Wow.
good to go. But before you start the brew, you have to make sure that it's wet, and you should put enough water. So I use approximately 100 to 200 ml of water.
Is a kettle of water. I think you can add in some little water.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just help me. We decided to keep our water here just to keep the temperature.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I like the way you folded the paper filter and threw it over there. I wish we had it in a slow motion. It would really look nice, eh? As you can see the paper filter, and I love the color. Like when you see the color of our
Can I get the
paper
lid?
bag, the cover.
Yeah.
When you see the color of our paper bag and the color of the filter, something that looks nice when you're making coffee. Eh?
Yeah.
Those are the coffee colors. Eh?
Yeah. Of
Okay.
course.
So we're going to wet our paper filter.
So here I start.
Okay. There you go. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound of the dripping water into the decanter. Oh God. So
you should
why is
pour
it that
enough.
you have to like wet it fully like this instead of like just pouring water, and the moment you see that it's wet, I pour out the water? I see you've taken over like 30 seconds while wetting the paper filter.
I should wash it, you know. These papers, they trap dust, and it has its own smell. That peppery taste, you have to kick it out. Yeah. So, can I use it here?
Sure, no worries. You can use, we have all the equipment on the coffee break
I
show.
see.
Yeah.
Even the decanter, you have
You
to
have
wash
to
it.
wash it fully.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good to go.
So this process took like 1 minute.
Yeah, you have to take your time. Time.
Time, eh?
Time is everything, my brother.
Sibya kupapa.
Sibya kupapa.
Okay.
Coffee wampapira. Oba tugenda munyumirwa.
Yeah. So you have your coffee ready.
Yeah.
Which grain size do we have to use specifically?
Medium coarse.
Medium coarse.
Yeah, medium coarse.
Okay.
Let me just keep it here. Medium coarse.
For the V60. Let me ask, does the V60 use the same grain size as the Quimula Pour-Over, the Clever Dripper, Chemix? Those are 3 equipment so far.
Yeah.
And the AeroPress. Do they use the same grain size?
No. For the Clever Drip, V60 Clever Dripper, then you said which one else?
Chemix.
Chemix? No. So V60 Clever Dripper, you can use the same grain size.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the Chemix, you need something more coarser.
More coarser.
Yeah.
All right.
So you go like 2 clips. Yeah. If you use maybe like a 20 clip, then for the Chemix, you should use maybe 23 to 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it has tiny walls.
Okay. So what next?
So I'm going to dose the coffee, and I'm going to use 20, and I'll use a ratio of 1 to 15.
1 to 15.
Yeah.
How do you guys count ratios?
I wish I can do it with you here. I can show you. So
that's the good thing about the coffee break, because everything is practical right here. So our cameraman will zoom in this as Saddam is doing it, so that he shows you how you count ratios, especially when you're like at home. You need to use this method to show that, or to get ratios of how you can get a good cup of coffee. So Saddam, how do you count ratios? Okay,
so since we are going to use a ratio of, as I told you, it will be 1 to 15, right? So, and the dose is 20.
Why did you put a 0 point something?
0, it represents a number.
Okay.
It cannot show 1, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it cannot show 1. If you say point, how did I say? Anyway, let's first keep it.
Okay.
So, as I told you, we are using 20 grams of coffee. So, a 20 grams of coffee, it will be represented by 300 ml of water.
Is it a standard?
It's the standard.
20 grams have to represent 300 ml of water?
No, it's not like that. But we use ratios.
Okay.
So the first ratio we start with is 15.
Okay.
There is 15, 1 to 15. There is 1 to 16, 1 to 17. These all ratios, they will produce different tests. Tests.
So I can't use a ratio of 2 to 15.
No.
It's not there in coffee.
It's not there.
Wow. Okay.
Not there.
Show us how we can count.
If you use a 12, you will extract something which is underdeveloped. It will be bitter. It will be harsh.
It won't taste good, literally.
Yeah. You will not enjoy your coffee.
Okay.
So in order for you to enjoy the coffee, you need these standards. You need 15 and above.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see how we can get our ratios right here.
So you put the 300 as I told you. 20 to go into the 300. So you divide it by 20.
As you can
it will be 15. This 15 represents 1 gram of water, 1 gram of coffee, which means if you put 1 gram of coffee inside the chamber, you should put 15 grams of coffee. 15 grams of water. Yeah. So in coffee, we shouldn't use ml. We're going into grams because there is some particles and solubles. It's a mixture. That's why I use grams. 15 grams, not ml. So you divide the 15, as I told that 15 represent 1 gram. So you can divide the 15 by 20. Sorry, it's 15 by 20 to 0, giving you 15. The same thing if you brew this ratio and you find it very strong for you, you can use maybe 16.5, 17, up to you.
All right.
Yeah, so I will just do the 16 by 20.
Gives you 320. Hope you guys saw how it is done right on TV. So in case you're at home, please do this and you get the ratios on how you want your coffee to taste. So let's go Saddam and make the coffee.
So I'll dose it.
Coffee has to be fresh, yeah?
Yeah, it has to be fresh always, fresh.
Yeah.
Not fresh of one day, no. Should be fresh of at least 2 weeks. That's
2 weeks.
14 days, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is 23, but we said you should use 20
grams.
20 grams, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about coffee, it will teach you how to be consistent in life.
That's what you talked about
Yeah.
at the beginning of the show. You have to be with a notebook and pen,
Yeah.
so that you note down these things for consistency.
And after removing the amount of coffee you want, you should make sure you tighten so that it will keep the freshness.
Hope you guys know how to tighten these bags, because whenever you buy these bags in supermarkets, coffee shops, you need to know how to seal it again the moment you open it up again. Okay. I like the aroma and
You
scent
feel
that's
it?
coming out of the coffee. Eh?
Yeah.
So why stirring it like that? To create a hole?
Not a hole,
Uh-huh.
but since it's a cone,
Eh.
I should use this.
Yeah.
Since it's a cone,
Eh.
the amount of coffee in the middle, it's more than the one which is on the side.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should make
Okay.
a
So
little bit
basically,
of
it has to be like in the shape of the equipment.
Exactly.
So if my cameraman could zoom in here
Zoom
and
a
see
little
that
bit.
cone,
Yeah.
it's not flat. There is a cone like the way how this equipment or the way this V60 is made. So that's why there is this shape right here. Okay.
Let me first add more water.
Nice. So there is no, there's nothing like, okay, it has to be flat so that I can get a flat bed.
Yeah. Anyway, you can keep it flat if you wish, but I prefer it this way.
This way.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this is Free Knowledge live on TV, and this is what the coffee break does for you to understand how to brew coffee. Okay?
Yeah.
I like the way you handle everything gently. I think this is the way how this cup of coffee is going to come out, like in terms of taste.
Of course.
Yeah. So there you're tearing.
Yeah. I have to put it on 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to measure the amount of water.
water.
Yeah, in case if I forgot to tear it, it will give me different results.
Yeah.
I may end up putting less water or more water.
Okay.
So it's always good to
Tear.
put it at 0, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to start. Before you start, you have to start that time.
That
So you
timer.
should start at the same time. So I'll first put 50 ml of water. Sorry.
My colleague Emma always says whenever they are pouring it like that, he asks himself every time whenever he sees a barista doing that, why do baristas like pour in a swirling or rotational mode?
Yeah.
Why?
The V60 cone, it's made of some narrow, how can I say it? There is some design
the
on it.
ridges.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it pulls the water in a certain direction. So if I say to pour in a different way, it may affect my cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is the second pour.
So there are times you pour, like you need to pour 4 times, 3 times, 2 times.
Yeah. But all it will depend on what you are looking at.
So that crema, that dark brown crema that's coming on top, does it represent that coffee is really, really fresh, or it's just because the way you're pouring it?
Sometimes, yeah, it does.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that coffee is fresh?
Yeah, no. Yeah, actually, it doesn't mean that the coffee is fresh, but it represents a good coffee also.
So I had a conversation with some guys some time back, and we were arguing about that. Like the moment you have your coffee brewing, you don't have to stir, you just have to let it like coffee drip into the cup or the decanter. Why did you stir for the coffee in a P60?
Now, in coffee extraction, there is a lot of things which we should all understand. What you're looking at that will be one of your main reasons why you're doing it. So for me, I'm doing it to increase my extraction levels. Yeah. Secondly, to make sure that every ground it will be hit by water, it will hit the water.
Every ground will be hit by the water. During the blooming process, the first pour, if you bring in this ground to be mixed with water at this point where you start in, won't it affect the cup of the taste of the cup of coffee, because it didn't mix with water at first and didn't maybe like take away the astringent flavors at first? Won't it like affect the cup of coffee, because now when you stir it, it's going to mix with the other beans or with the other grounds that have been immersed or infused with coffee?
No, it will not affect.
It won't?
Yeah, it won't.
So you mean like one particle of coffee doesn't affect a cup of coffee?
It does. Yeah, it does. But in extraction, in brewing,
it doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So, and we're done?
Yeah, we are done. Very simple.
Guys, look at how the coffee
so our
looks
extraction
like in a glass.
our time is 3 minutes.
3 minutes
of extraction,
and you're done with your nice cup of coffee.
Of course,
I like the lighter bit of it. It's not something that looks like it's strong.
Yeah.
And something that you can drink over and over and over and over again. So we get our cups right here. You guys, I can't wait. Very nice. I can't wait to have this cup of coffee right here on a coffee break made by barista Saddam Muchivi, who is a former barista at Enduro Coffee, but also is head barista of Ali Kahawa. It's something
I'll teach you how to say it.
Let me have my toes and nice. That's enough for me.
All right.
The rest is yours. So I'm gonna have my cup of coffee right here, and I'll be the judge from this cup of coffee.
Let me first wait for you.
Wow. Wow.
How is it?
This is a very well balanced cup of coffee. In terms of taste, in terms of smoothness, in terms of acidity, everything is balanced. And the aftertaste is too sweet. Very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Well guys, this is a tutorial of the V60 that you could make at home. If you want these equipments right here, go on our social media platforms in the comment section. Let us know the equipment you want, and House of Talent will help you, connect you to the people, or will get you these equipments. So this is the coffee break, and Saddam, as we finalize the show, or we get towards the end of the show, let's talk about women in coffee. Just briefly, how can we get a number of women in the coffee industry?
Basing on where I've been working from, now the ladies are in more the industry. If you look at the, excuse me, if you look at the competition which held in Dubai, the top players are all ladies, the judges, the winners. Even the barista champion, she's a lady.
She's a lady.
Yeah, maybe here in Uganda we need to educate them.
In terms of coffee brewing, or
everything
in school?
No, in coffee, in the industry, we should show them the way. We should encourage them. We should actually teaching them. Once you teach someone, I think you will end up loving it. You teach, you follow up, and results is love in the coffee. Yeah,
it's love in the coffee. Why aren't we having barista champions from Uganda? You spoke about the barista champions who are in Dubai are ladies, most of them. So why aren't we having? It's because maybe we're not educating them.
No,
or it's because we're not initiative enough to be competitive.
We are educating them, but as you know, some ladies, if you take coffee, it will affect your...
Yeah, the mean.
I think you...
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's scaring them off. But on the other side, ladies are on top.
They don't care about this.
My former barista, she's a lady.
Your head barista?
My former head barista. Yeah, before I took, she was the one in charge. So I was second in command of her. Imagine. Not her only. There is another company, 3 or 4. The head baristas, they are ladies. You know this company called Espresso Lab? The former head barista, she's a lady. Yeah.
But would you say that also like the pay in Uganda in terms of salary is affecting the ladies' involvement in the coffee industry? You know, men as like, if you're not getting enough on the job, at least people in Uganda call it kuiriba. You know, they will do that. But ladies, when they ladies will be in a specific job full time, and what they get is what they get. Do you think that's also affecting like ladies getting involved in the coffee industry?
About payments in Uganda, I'm not so sure, but it could be. It could be. It could be. So maybe they should do something about it.
Who should do something about it?
UCDA.
UCDA.
They should put standards on baristas. Yeah. What I know that here in Uganda, baristas are being cheated. Honestly, are being cheated. So, Madam, she's called Madam.
Say her name.
No, Madam. I've even forgotten. But
she's which Madam are you trying to? In UCDA?
The lady in UCDA.
You're talking about Claire?
Claire, Madam Claire should do something. They should sit down. They should put.